I got something for you guys. So I want to ask you guys a quick question. And this is a conversation you and I had yesterday. How many here wake up in the morning, whether if it's once a week, once a month, once a year, feeling a little anxious, sometimes stressed out, sometimes you're kind of like fear, doubt? Yeah? Okay. Well, have you ever wondered where that comes from? Have you ever wondered, why is it that I feel that way? Well, believe it or not, Aaron and I were talking about this yesterday. Almost every day, I feel that way. Almost every day, you feel that way, right? Like, we've talked about this, I don't even know how many times. It's like, dude, when I first wake up, it's, I'm feeling just like fear and doubt and anxious and just like, oh my God, there's so many things happening. And then throughout the day, as I progress throughout the day, it's like I start feeling a little better. And it's like, well, where's that stemming from? And how can we, I don't like the word battle it because we're not in war, but like, how can we control it, I guess maybe the word is, or how can we work with it, or how can we calm it down, right? And what was that?
Overcome.
Exactly, overcome. Okay, that's a great word. I like that, overcome, right? So what I realized many years ago, and especially after reading a book that Aaron recommended to me, how many here know Napoleon Hill? Have you read any of these books? Okay, so one of the books that Aaron recommended to me was Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil, great book that I highly recommend you guys read. And in that book, something that Napoleon Hill says is that fear and doubt are the biggest dream killers, and to battle them, take action towards your goals. Let me say that one more time. Fear and doubt are the biggest dream killers, and to battle them, take action towards your goals, right? But then, what are my goals? And what are the actions that I need to take towards my goals? Right? I know when I first wake up in the morning, if I am feeling fearful, doubtful, if I'm feeling anxious, like there are a million things happening, immediately I say, okay, what is my goal for this week, this month, this quarter, this year? What are 2-3 things I can take? Boom, 5 minutes later, it's like gone, right? But sometimes what happens is we feel so much fear, so much doubt that we get paralyzed, that we can't even move forward. And that's the thing that we need to learn how to not have happen to us, because if it does happen to you, it's done. It's game over. Now fear and doubt has you chained to the ground and you simply cannot move, right? And so it was about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It was an event. How many here have been to a Tony Robbins event? In person? Okay. Virtual? Okay, funnel. Okay, got it. How many here have witnessed Tony Robbins speak? Okay, there we go. All right, awesome. How many have watched a Tony Robbins video? Read a book? Seen a picture online? Okay, there we go. We all have something in common. Okay, great. One of the Tony Robbins events, I cannot tell you which one it was because in a 13-month period, I attended about 12 or 13 of his events. So I couldn't tell you which one it was, but it was one of them. They're all awesome. One is better than the other. If you have not experienced a Tony Robbins event, I highly recommend it. Sometimes they have them here in West Palm Beach. Incredible experience. But one of the events that he hosted that I attended was probably about 3-4 years ago. He said that oftentimes people that have anxiety, that feel stressed, that just kind of feel paralyzed in their lives is simply because they don't have a compelling future. Even people who have suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, it simply happens because there's no fulfillment in their lives. It's simply because they don't find purpose. They don't have purpose in life. They don't have something that they are looking forward to, right? And that's where our fear and doubt and stress comes from. Is sometimes because either we don't have something that we are looking forward to, or we don't know exactly what that thing is, right? It's kind of like all over the place. And that's the other thing that I learned in that book, Outwitting the Devil. He talks about how if you don't have clear goals, if you don't have clear direction that you're driving towards, you're going to be drifting, going all over the place. And when you're going all over the place, what will happen is you'll be wasting time. And when you waste time, what happens is you feel like you're not progressing. And progress equals happiness. When we don't feel progress, we feel stressed. There's no fulfillment, right? That's why you'll see people that are accomplishing great things in life. They have great careers. They got the house. They got the family. They got all that, but they still feel empty inside. Why? Simply because they don't have a clear goal that they're driving towards and creating progress towards, right? And that's where Tony Robbins explained to us the concept of having goals and having specific goals, right? But he walked us through a very specific exercise that helped us create goals that are specific, that are measurable, that are timely, so that way we can drive towards them, so that way we know exactly what it is that we are trying to accomplish by what time frame, and then we can take actions every day, and that's what helps us with that anxiety, with the stress, and it helps us accomplish little tasks towards our goals, so that way we can feel that progress in life, so that way we can have that fulfillment. So today what I want to do is I want to take us through a simple exercise. It'll take us maybe like 10, 15 minutes. It's nothing revolutionary, nothing you guys probably haven't done in the past, but I think it is not about learning new things, but about being reminded of things that we already know. How many here have attended workshops or webinars or something like that, or maybe the stuff that these great gentlemen shared, where it's like, yeah, that's not the first time that I hear it, but this time it landed differently, right? Because like I was at the right place at the right time, where it's like, yeah, I've heard it 17 other times, but this time it just landed differently, right? In business, there's a term called, as a leader of an organization, your job is to be the CRO, Chief Reminding Officer. Literally, that's all you're doing, is you're reminding people of the same stuff that they already know, because we forget. Because let's face it, with social media, with a bunch of things happening out there, it's like we're getting hit up by messages all day, every day. We're getting hit up by millions of messages. It's like we forget stuff. Our brains can't take all this stuff in, right? And so we need to be reminded. So that's what I'm going to do today, is I'm just going to remind you guys of something you guys already know. I'm not that smart, not that innovative. I'm just going to remind you, but hopefully this time it lands. Is that cool? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to explain to you guys this concept of SMART goals that I learned from Tony Robbins. Can you guys see this? In the back? Yes? Okay, great. All right, so there is this concept of SMART goals. Oh, wrong one. All right, so this table cannot say anything. Everybody else, what does S stand for? Anyone know this concept? What does S stand for?
It stands for specific.
Specific, all right, specific, exactly. I'm going to probably butcher this, but this says specific. I promise it does. M, what does M stand for? Hold on, someone else, hold on. I'll come back to you if no one else knows it. I'm sorry? Measurable, yes. I think that's how you spell measurable. All right, there we go. Okay, A, what does it stand for?
Attainable.
Okay, all right. Look at her sitting in the front of the class, and all right, she's paying attention. Attainable. Okay, there we go. We got it. Too long to go down. All right, R, someone, not someone else. R, what does R stand for? Almost. Not quiet. Okay, you guys can help. We've talked about this a lot of times. All right, well, gotta do some CRO in here. All right.
No, she answered all the ones I know.
Aaron, what does R stand for? What does R stand for?
I'm not telling.
No, well, no one else knows.
I'm not telling.
Okay, he doesn't know. What is it?
I'm not telling.
Okay, he's not telling. Go for it. What was that?
Well, I mean, I know this.
Okay, go ahead. What's R?
Relevant.
Realistic.
Realistic?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you say round?
No, there's another definition. I've heard it's relevant.
Relevant.
Yeah,
So it's like you can
for sure.
relate to what you're trying to.
No, absolutely, 100%. Who knows T?
Time bound.
Timely, yes, exactly. Timely, yep. Timely. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay? You guys all got that? All right, so what does S stand for?
Specific.
Okay, what does M stand for?
Measurable.
Okay, what does A stand for? And what does R stand for? And what does T stand for? Let's go. All right, that's awesome. Okay, so what is the opposite of that? What is the opposite of that? I did not learn that from Tony Robbins. It's something that I made up. I call them vague goals. It doesn't stand for anything. It just, the word vague. It's just vague goals. And the reason why I say that is because many times when I talk to people, and I say, hey, why do you want to sell on Amazon? Or why do you want to start a business or whatever? I want to make more money. Here's $1. No, I want to make more money. Here's $5. No, man, I want to make more. 20, 100, 1,000? What does I want to make more money mean? To you, I want to make more money might be way different than to me, than to Amar, than to Chris, than to anybody else, correct? I think we can all agree on that, right? So what does I want to make more money mean? What does I want financial freedom mean? What does I want to travel the world mean? What does I want to, whatever all these vague goals that we usually start with mean? Really, maybe we don't even know what those goals are. So that's why it's very important for you to know exactly what your goals are, because let's face it, if you're trying to, let's say if you go to the shooting range, right? It's not like you're spraying everywhere. You've got a specific place that you are going towards. Otherwise, you know, like who knows what's going on and what you're doing. How do you know that progress is happening? And remember, progress equals happiness. And if you're not progressing towards something, then you don't know if you are actually getting better. Therefore, no fulfillment. Therefore, anxiety, doubt, fear, and so on, right? So instead of saying, I want to make more money, instead what you want to say is, I want to make $10,000. Okay, that's a great start. Then instead of saying just, I want to make $10,000, you say, I want to make $10,000 a month. So now all of a sudden we went from vague to specific, measurable, specific, measurable, right? And then you want to, you know, the next thing is, so specific, measurable, right? Attainable, and R. These kind of go together. And the reason why I say this is sometimes I'll talk to people and I'll ask, hey, where do you want to be 12 months from now? They say, well, I want to make $50,000 a month. Okay, great. I love that. I'm never one to hold people back. How much do you make right now? 2,000. Okay. How long has it been that you've been making 2,000? 10 years. Okay. How long has it been since you've been trying to make more than 2,000? 5 years. Okay. I don't want to hold you back, but you've been trying to make more than 2,000 for the last 5 years. And you're making 2, but 12 months from now you want to make 50. Is that realistic? Again, I don't want to hold you back, but I also don't want you to be disappointed. Now, if you make 5,000 12 months from now, will that be good? Absolutely, because the last 5 years you've been trying to go from 2 to anything more than 2 and you haven't been able to. In 12 months, you double and a half your goal. It's like, okay, that's great, right? But if you say you go from 2 to 10, okay, great, that's realistic. And obviously you add zeros or increase or decrease the numbers based on your situation and so on. So that's why having a attainable and realistic goal is very important. So that way you don't overshoot and then end up disappointing yourself, right? But there is a fine line because, part of me says, but you know what they say, shoot for the stars. If you don't catch them, land on the moon, or whatever the whole thing says, right? So you want to dream big, but you don't want to go outrageous, so that way you can still feel like there's progress, right? And then finally is timely. This was something that I learned obviously from Tony Robbins, but specifically this was an interview by Arnold, and he was talking about how having a timeline to your goals, to anything you start with, creates urgency in your life, right? Because if you want to make $10,000 a month and say you are 50 right now, well, what does that mean? Do you want to do that by 90? Do you want to do that by 51? Do you want to do that next month? It's important for us to know when do we want to do that, because what that does, it creates urgency. Does that make sense? Yep. All right. So now that we know what specific goals are, now what I want to do is I want to take 2 minutes for all of us to grab our notebooks, grab our pens, grab our whatever it is that you guys are writing with, and think 12 months from today, how much do you want to be making per month from your Amazon businesses? Okay, 12 months from today, how much do you want to be making per month from your Amazon businesses? Think SMART goals, right? Especially realistic and attainable. And just write that down.
So this is something. I know. Ready to go.
That's good. Okay. Who wants to share? Don't be shy. We're all family here. How much?
10, 12K, between 10 and 12K.
Okay, love it. That's awesome. Who else? James, what's yours?
30, 35K.
Okay, love it. How much are you doing right now?
18 to 22.
Okay. How many here believe that that's a SMART goal? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Love it. Anyone else? One more?
Well, my goal in 2 years, I want to retire by 40. That's
Okay.
kind of like my big goal.
Love it.
But to get there, I need to replace my salary,
Okay.
which not only I have a monthly goal, but I also like watched one of your, I watched a lot of your videos, a lot of your classes, and
Okay.
you said something like if you want to make it even easier and you not only have a monthly goal, but also do a daily breakdown so
Yes.
you know how much you need to make per day to
Sure.
achieve the goal. So for me, I need to be about $300 a day
Okay.
to be able to replace my base salary.
Okay. And that's 12 months from now.
Yep.
Okay. How many here believe that's a SMART goal? Yeah? Cool. Love it. All right. Very cool. Now, one thing that I do want to point out. I am one who hates writing stuff down. You'll never see me writing stuff down. Up until maybe like a year or two ago, I don't know if it was Aaron that shared this with me or somebody else. There was a study done by Harvard several years ago, and it said something around the lines of, I don't know exactly, I'm butchering it here. When you write things down versus typing, when you write things down, there is some neuro pathways that get created in your brain that actually make the information you're writing down stick in your brain. You start remembering it more, and subconsciously, you start taking action towards making those things that you wrote down actually happen and start attracting them. So since I heard that, anything that's important, actually write down. Although, I've only written a couple words, you should see when I actually write stuff on the board. I mean, my God. Sometimes I look at my reflection, which I do on Sundays, and I'm like, what did I write? What is that even English, right? But again, I know I'm trusting my subconscious mind that is storing it. So, no promises, but I'll trust Harvard. So that's the very first thing that we did, which is set a goal. Now, what I want you guys to do is write down the exact date. So day, month, year, when you want to accomplish that goal. Just write it down real quick. So it could be exactly 12 months from today. Today is what, the 20th, right? So it could be September 20th to 2026. Just write it down right there, next to your goal. Now what I want us to do is I want us to take another 3 to 5 minutes, and I want us to think of reasons why that goal is important to you. Why is making $10,000 to $12,000 a month a year from now important to you? Why is it important, making $300 a day? She kind of already told us why that's important, right? So that's great. James, why is making $30,000, $35,000 a month important to you? Write it down, right? Whatever your goals are, write it down. And the more reasons why, the better. And I'll tell you why in just a second. But write down reasons why you want to make the amount of money that you want to make 12 months from now. If you've got a laundry list of like 75 different things, that's even better. Just keep writing those down. All right, who wants to share? Who's my brave one who's going to go first?
I'll share.
All right.
So some of the goals I have is like to get more of the bill loads off of my plate, so the bills aren't being paid just for my income.
Okay.
The extra income can help pay for that.
Okay.
Also work on some of the major projects we have for the house, like a whole new garage door and
Nice.
some renovations we definitely need.
Well, hey, Jason might be able to help out there.
Because we don't have kids, we love to spoil our nieces and nephews.
Nice.
So we want to take them out to Disney. We actually want to take them, the big goal is to take them on a Disney cruise.
Oh, okay.
It's the big goal.
Wow.
We'll start with Disney for now.
Okay, love it.
And then also when we just travel, actually spend some time, we travel and we spend money not thinking of it, but then when we get home, it's like, all right, well, these bills,
Sure.
to also take some load off of that. So.
That's awesome. How many here could see the energy and kind of how he looked and the smile and all that stuff? You see that? He can't even stop smiling, right? Okay. I'll come back to why that's important. Okay, who else wants to share?
grade 1.
All right, there we go. I will go James and then Ina.
I'll share. These are probably no order of importance either.
Sure.
To increase cash flow to expand the business.
Okay.
To be able to help family more often.
Nice.
Just recently, my stepson got in some trouble. He was separated from his wife for a little while,
Okay.
and he needed a car.
Mm.
So he called and said, I need a car.
Yep.
I'm like, I was able to help him find a used car.
Yep.
And I had enough cash to say, here, go find a car.
Love it.
He wasn't walking in the rain to work, so he could continue working to feed his wife and kid. To be able to continue helping that, because I was able to be able to increase profit, save more for retirement, because I don't want to work until I'm 60 or 70.
Sure.
Who knows what Social Security's going to be by then, you know? And because my wife doesn't travel the world, to be able to take her around the world a lot,
Love it.
you know?
Love it.
She wants to go travel to Greek islands, and she wants to go for like 2 weeks this year. And I said, okay, well, let's figure out how to do it.
Let's go.
You know?
Yep.
Last year we spent a week and a half, well, this year actually, a week and a half in Ireland, driving around the entire island, you know? And she's like, well, let's start planning the next trip. I'm like, oh, no. And making more money per month will actually allow that to happen. But
That's awesome.
I guess the main goal is to increase cash flow, to expand the business, to make all that happen.
Absolutely, man. And I know that you've already kind of taken a trip from that, right? I know you guys went to Paris, I believe it was.
Paris,
Yep.
and all the expenses to be accrued there were all paid for profit for this business.
That's awesome.
That was my daughter's our high school senior year. We asked her, you want to go to Greece? You want to go to Paris? She's like, well, Paris, duh.
Yeah. I love it.
So, that's where we went.
That's amazing.
We would have spent, we got the tickets ourselves, and then all the expenses were paid for profit for this business.
That's awesome, man. That's very
I
cool.
didn't worry about how much dinner was going to cost, so like, oh, we can buy this.
Just do it. Just do it.
Not worry about it.
I love it. That's awesome. All right. Aina, go ahead.
First of all, I want to grow my business and gain more knowledge.
Okay.
Invest in this because it's going to give me a possibility for my job, whatever income I have, that's enough for my expenses. And this extra money would help me to grow my business and quit my job to spend more time with my family.
Sure.
Kind of far away and a little bit isolated from the family because of my job.
I love it.
And that's the basic thing.
Yep.
I love to plan one step at a time.
Sure, absolutely. 100%.
So I want to get more product on the market.
Yes. I love it. That's amazing. Thank you very much for sharing. Do you guys see how there was a very similar kind of theme amongst all of their goals and why they want to do this? He wants to, travel more. He wants to take care of the stepkids and all that stuff. James wants to take care of his kids, and wants to travel more with his wife. Same thing with Aina, right? We're all, although we come from diverse backgrounds and different, demographics and stuff like that, but we're all very similar. We all want the same stuff. We all want the same stuff. So although we might look different, but we're very similar, right? That said, what I want you guys to think about is, when you guys were writing your goals, what were the emotions that you felt? How did you feel? What's one emotion you guys felt when you guys were writing your goals down? Just shout it out. What is that? Relief. Okay, I love that. What else? What's an emotion? Love. Okay.
Happy, excitement.
Okay. Pride. Okay, love it. What else? Motivation. You see how all of it was pretty positive? No one said, I was pretty freaking anxious because I'm going to be making $25,000 a month and I'll be able to retire my wife and take my kids on trips. Like, nobody really thinks that, right? And the reason why I had you guys write this stuff down is because as you feel that anxiety, feel the doubt, feel the stuff, what you want to do is you want to pick up that sheet of paper and remind yourself of why you're doing this. A reminder of yourself, a year from now, what's going to happen. As you start or scale your business, how many here agree that you're probably going to face some obstacles? Shit's going to happen when you least expect it, right? You're like, why? Well, why did it just have to happen like this right now, right? It happens all the time. And when that happens, we feel demotivated. We feel like we want to quit. We feel like we don't want to do this anymore. But your goals And the reasons why. The goals are important, but what's more important are the reasons why the goals are important is what's going to keep you going. You can just close your eyes and just think about the trip. Close your eyes and think about quitting your job. Close your eyes and think about taking the kids to Disney, right? And it's like, yeah, screw that. I'm not quitting. I'm about to get back on and do this, right? For me, when I first started this entire journey, those of you that know my story 10 years ago, I had 3 reasons. I had a million reasons, but 3 main reasons. I had a pile of debt that I wanted to clear. I had met someone that I felt like was very special to me, which you guys will meet tomorrow night. She's actually in Chicago with her sister and visiting her nephew. And I wanted to retire my parents because they had invested all of their money in me, and I was going to save the family, but I destroyed the family technically, right? So those were my main reasons then, right? Today, I have 3 reasons. The first one, I'm 35. I want to become a billionaire by 40, and I'll tell you guys why in a little bit. The second one is I want to help 100 people make their first $1 million. And the third one, which is very emotional for me, is I want to help 100 couples conceive babies. And the reason why that is important for me is because my wife and I have been married for 7 years, and we've been having problems conceiving. We've gone through IVF cycles. We've done about 6. We have 2 frozen embryos, which is cool. They're both boys. One is named Rocky, one is Cash. So that's cool. But that's, for me, it's a very important thing because since I was a little kid, my family, my parents was all about, create wealth for your family and procreate, right? And so the wealth thing we've been able to figure out, but the procreation, not something that I can control, but it's something that I definitely want. And if I can't have it, it's completely okay, but I know how important that is, and I want to provide that gift to other people, right? And so that's why that's important for me. So these are my 3 goals. So whenever I wake up and I feel doubtful, I feel fearful, and I feel like I want to quit, I remind myself of these 3 goals. And I say, whatever I'm going through right now, when I get there, man, will it be worth it, right? So that's why it's important for you guys not just to have goals, but have reasons why that you feel that are close to you, that emotionally move you. Because if you are just logically trying to make sense of this, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you frickin' spend the weekend working on your business versus spending it with your family? Why would you, be here, for example, versus hanging out? Although it's Miami, come on. All the rain, you wouldn't want to come for the rain? And the humidity, seriously? Come on, right? But you'd rather hang out with your family or with your loved ones. But you're, face down in your computer trying to make it work, right? But it's the goals that move you. It's the reasons why that move you. All right. Now, the next thing that I want you guys to think about, it could be someone inside this room, it could be someone outside this room, it could be someone in your family, or it doesn't matter. And no, it cannot be yourself, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Write down who will hold you accountable to making this goal happen. Who's 1 or 2 people that will hold you accountable, and no, it cannot be yourself, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Who's going to hold you accountable?
Well, my husband, of course.
Okay.
But I also wrote down my niece because she knows I want to take her on a Disney cruise. So
oh, yeah. She's like, you better do it. You better do it. Yeah, exactly.
And then my mom, because she's actually the one who paid for me to join A&L. So
oh, nice. Okay.
She saw how excited I was. She paid for A&L.
I love it. That's awesome. Okay. Who else wants to share?
For me, it's going to be him
Okay.
and my daughter.
Okay.
Because him knows my passion, and
Yep.
my daughter is an Army sergeant.
Nice. I love it.
So those 2.
Okay. Very cool. Who else wants to share?
My wife.
Okay. Why is that important? And why do you think it'll work?
So happy wife, happy life.
Okay. Okay. There we go. This man gets it.
And she is always very good at holding me accountable.
Okay.
So I think she would probably hold me accountable for.
I love it.
Adventure.
That's awesome. Okay. So I used to think that I am disciplined enough to hold myself accountable. And I thought, I don't need anyone to hold me accountable. I can hold me accountable because I will show up for myself until this happened. 3 years ago, I don't know if I talked about the story. I don't need to go into it. I had a seizure out of nowhere, went into kind of a health crisis. I thought I was going to die. They found a scratch in my brain, whatever. Story for another day. I want to take health and wellness seriously. I hired a personal trainer. What happened next was very interesting. So we decided that 4 days a week, we're going to meet at the gym and we're going to work out at 6 a.m. Cool. We're going to work out for an hour, then I'll do cardio for 20, 30 minutes. Great. I go to the gym 6 days a week, 4 days with him. The other 2 days, either I'll do cardio or something else or whatever. The days that I work out with him, I'm at the gym at 6. The days that I don't, although 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock or to 8 o'clock are blocked on my calendar, I show up to the gym at 6:15, sometimes 6:20, sometimes 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock, right? And what I realized was that I am willing to allow him to hold me accountable and show up for him more than I'm willing to show up for myself, because we are willing, just by nature, I don't know why, it's weird, right? We're willing to do more for others than we are for ourselves, right? Because for ourselves, like, hey, well, I do everything with me. If I show up a little bit late, it's okay. But with him, I don't want to look like an asshole and have him wait for me for 5, 10, 15 minutes and show up late, right? I want to make sure that I am always on time. And so that's why it's very important to have someone outside of yourself hold you accountable to whatever goals that you want to accomplish. Like happy wife, happy life, you know? Like a drill sergeant here, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right, cool. Okay. Now, the final piece, and this is an exciting one, and it might take you a minute, dream and think and really have it be something that is truly meaningful to you. What will you do to reward yourself when your goal is accomplished? How will you reward yourself? And after I get a few shares, I'll share with you guys what I want to do for myself. How will you reward yourself when you accomplish your goal 12 months from now? And being selfish here is okay. Doing it just for you is okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's fine. I'm about to finish it. If it dies, it dies. That is what it is. Who wants to share?
Once I get to the goals, I definitely know seeing the smiles on, especially the niece or the kids when I take them out, but also getting the car I've been putting off for so long.
Okay, what is the car?
It's the Lucid.
Oh, nice.
But I want the Sapphire.
Ooh,
really top end.
That's awesome. Where are we right now, Sunny Isles? Is there a Lucid dealer here? No, it's in Brickell. Are you staying tomorrow or no?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Monday.
Well, we checked on Monday, but we drove here, so
okay, cool.
We're not really on a time limit.
I would go to Brickell Center Mall. It's about maybe 30 minutes downtown, and there's like a super cool Lucid dealer there. Okay. I would go check it out. Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Okay, who else? Come on, don't be shy.
So mine's a little bit different.
Okay.
Because it's not even like to like
buy something specific just because I'm just so stressed from like having a full-time job.
Sure.
That's just like not be stressed. I can just like reward myself with my time.
Okay.
And like my found energy.
Okay.
Just like do whatever I want. I can like work out more. I can,
That's
like,
awesome.
spend time with my kids and like vacation. And
That's
just
awesome.
Not have to like weigh down with like this much work.
Okay, I love it, man. That's amazing. Cool. What else? Who else wants to share? Go ahead.
2 things.
Okay.
A tap on my shoulder
Okay.
and plan for the next goal.
Okay. Love it. That's awesome. All right. Tap on the shoulder and plan for the next goal. One more.
Spa.
What was that?
Big spa day.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Yes, that's right. That's awesome. All right. Again, this is just another thing to look forward to. For me, my wife and I, we're big foodies. We like going out. We don't like to travel. Well, I say we. I don't like to travel much. Although next month I'm taking a trip to Turkey, then Iraq, and it's like a 13-hour there and 17-hour back. And I'm like, whew, okay. Haven't been there in 15 years, and I'm looking forward to that, but I'm not looking forward to the plane rides, you know? So for me, what I want to do is, I've never been to New York. Yes, I know it's crazy. Again, I haven't been to a lot of places, right? I want to, and I've never flown private. So I want to take a private jet to New York, 2 nights, spend it there, couple restaurants, come back. Now, I know it sounds simple, it's pretty expensive, but you know, that's what I love. And for me, it's like, that's what I look forward to. And so whenever I feel anxious, I feel stressed, I close my eyes and I remember the goals. I remember the reward, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Like whenever I'm sitting there, like, that's gonna be cool, you know? It's a cool story to tell. But the same thing with you. As you are going through the day, as you are feeling stressed, as you are feeling anxious, you remind yourself of that. But most importantly, remember what we said in the beginning, what we started with. The reason why, or the biggest dream killer, is fear and doubt. And to battle them, take action towards your goals. So now that you know what your goal is, the first question that I ask myself is, what are 1, 2, 3 things that I can do right now to get closer to my goal? So for you, it might be, let's order a sample. Let's check my PPC campaign. Let's optimize my listing. Let's research a new product. Let's jump on a webinar and ask him some questions. Let's, whatever the case may be for you. Let's go to, how many have been playing around with the bot, with the AI bot that we just launched for you guys this week? Let's go and ask some questions there and see what's going on, right? Let's have a conversation with it, right? There are so many things that you could be doing that will immediately take your mind off of all this stuff, because guys, the anxiety, the pain that's being caused, number 1, is self-inflicted, and number 2, it stemmed from a thought that's only in your mind. It's not true. It only lives in your mind. It doesn't mean it's true. How many here agree that 90% of the crazy thoughts that come in our minds that causes anxiety and all that stuff are not really true? There are no truth to them. It just gets created, an emotion gets created in our body, our physiology changes, and all of a sudden it's our new reality. But you are literally 1 thought away from a completely different life. 1 thought away from a completely different life, right? So don't live in those lives. Don't live in those thoughts. Instead, take action towards the goals that are going to get you closer to the dream life that you truly want. Does that make sense? Awesome. Very cool. All right. Was that helpful? Okay. Now here's a commitment that I would like for you guys to make. At least once every 30 days, I'd like you guys to come back and review these notes and review the goal, the reasons why, who's holding you accountable, and the reward that you're going to give to yourself once you accomplish your goal. Because if you wrote them down once in Miami and forgot about them, well, how good is that? Remember, CRO, Chief Reminding Officer. And you got to remind yourself all the time. I review this every Sunday. I've got a Sunday review that I actually learned and picked up from Aaron a couple of years ago, and that I actually do every Sunday. Now this Sunday I'm not going to be able to do because I'll be here, but I'm only working half day on Monday, and I'm going to take the rest of the day. And one of the things that I'm going to do is work on my Sunday review on Monday, because I want to remind myself, otherwise I'll forget. And just like everybody else, I also forget. Does that make sense? Can I get you all to commit that you'll review this at least once every 30 days? Yes? There we go. Let's go. And can I get you all to commit to actually tell the person that's going to hold you accountable, hey man, you got to hold me accountable? Yes? Okay, because just because you said they're going to hold you accountable without you telling them, it's like, if they don't know, how are they going to hold you accountable? Does that make sense? Cool. All right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to lunch. And Hind and Aaron are putting lunch out. We're going to take lunch probably about 45 minutes, an hour, Hind?
Yes, 45 minutes.
And 45 minutes to an hour. Grab lunch, hang out, mingle. If you have not taken other people's phone numbers, please mingle. The speakers, make sure you guys are connecting with them. They'll be here as well. Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's go.